Hi, I'm DebDedrick, Certified High Performance Coach, here with episode number 64, How to Avoid Arguments. Isn't that funny? I should be having this right after Father's Day weekend when all the family's home. Well, certain things came up over the weekend that happened for me, being around a lot of people in a different type of setting that I recognized was happening to me. And I thought, you know what, maybe I could throw this out and help you guys if you maybe have a desire to avoid arguments, because arguments only tear down and ruin relationships. Arguments are usually just poor communication, and also most arguments, probably if you think about it, are repeated. They're repeated situations that keep coming up, and you are repeating the same behaviors and you're getting the same outcome. So that's a place to start. Number one, if you want to avoid arguments, you need to start with, number one, recognizing your patterns and what's triggering you. And maybe kind of doing some deep dive thinking about, okay, why am I getting triggered here and why am I acting this way? And that's kind of stepping out of yourself and looking at yourself and standing back and reflecting on, this hasn't worked for me in the past. Arguing just ruins the day. Arguing solves no problem. So starting with recognizing triggers and behaviors and patterns and how you might be throwing yourself under the bus or repeating the same pattern. And number two, recognizing your loved ones' triggers, your children's triggers, your friends, family, and co-workers' triggers will give you the upper hand on how to deal with them without triggering them. And I also suggest, if you're going to be having any conversations that might trigger, to write out a framework before you have that conversation, and don't have it without a script. And don't go off the script, because usually when you get emotionally charged, that's when you start saying things that you weren't planning on saying that go a long way towards ruining relationships. And you can't take back words even though you want to. So number one, recognize your triggers and your behaviors. Recognize your loved ones' triggers and behaviors. And then number three, go to your perception. Your perception is unique to you. And whoever you're in the conversation with, their perception is unique to them. So it's not going to be, your perception is not what somebody else's perception is. And when you can begin to understand that what you're saying is maybe not what they're hearing, is a good way to start to maybe do this. Oh, this is what I said. Is this what you heard? Or would you repeat back to me what I just said? Because I want to make sure we have clarity on what we're talking about here. Or if they say something to you that's not true, maybe step back and say, what you just said isn't true. I don't feel that way. I didn't say that, etc., etc. And number four, stay centered and calm. If you feel triggered and you feel your emotions kind of start to come up to the surface and you're tempted to blurt out something, stay calm and stay centered and move through that moment. And remember, your desired output is a happy relationship. It's not an argument. Arguing is just totally a waste of time, and you are learning to control and master your emotions, and you are learning to take charge of your relationships. And the best place to start is learning to avoid them altogether. And number five, I'm giving a few extra today. If you want people to stay calm, then you stay calm. People will often mirror back to you. If you're calm, even though you don't maybe feel calm, but you feel calm and you stay with that person, they're going to mirror back to you what you're behaving to them. So if you're yelling at them, they're going to yell at you. If you're calm and you keep your voice calm, they're going to be more tempted to not yell at you and to stay calm. So going back over what I just threw out to you so you can avoid arguments is learn what your triggers are, learn what your patterns are, recognize patterns of behavior that are not working, that maybe you've been stuck in for years, and start to craft new patterns and new behaviors so you can have happier relationships. Recognize your loved ones, your family, your friends, your co-workers. Recognize their triggers. After a while, you'll know what they are, because if you're interacting with people on a daily basis or a weekly basis, you'll begin to become very familiar with how they get triggered, and then you're able to sidestep those moments Remember, perception is unique to each one of us. Nobody thinks the same. Nobody sees things the same. And that's what makes life interesting. But it also takes a person that's emotionally intelligent to be able to recognize these things and have the self-discipline to step back and be calm and take charge of situations by staying, number 4, centered and calm when you get triggered, instead of becoming emotionally charged and saying things that you can't take back. Isn't there a saying that says words hit harder than a fist? That is so true. And it's my desire to give you tips that will help you create a happy life. And in implementing these tips into your life is a process. Change doesn't happen overnight, and you can't expect it to happen overnight. But if you do just a little bit every day and you intentionally live with a desire to have a happy life and create happy relationships, you'll find you'll be able to integrate these behaviors into your life pretty regularly after you form a new habit. And number 5, people mirror back to you what you emanate. So if you're emanating anger, they're going to be angry. If you're going to be calm, cool, and collected and stay calm, even though you might not feel that way, you're in charge of your emotions. You control what comes out of your mouth, and you can control whether you have happy relationship or not to a large extent by learning to control yourself with self-discipline. So thank you for joining me. I hope these tips help you. It's my mission as your expert guide to leading a happy life and a certified high-performance coach to give you tools and tips and strategies that you can use every day in your life, in your daily practices, so you can create a happier life. And until next tip, go out in the world and be a positive role model and influencer for good, and I'll see you next time. Bye.